The question is, what does fall redemption have to do? Are we recording?
Yeah.
So the question is, what does fall redemption theology have to do with the suffering on the planet and our pain and our difficulty in creating a more sustainable, just world? So fall redemption refers to the Christian theology, the Christian story, that humans, through the sin of Adam and Eve, were fallen. We fell from our natural state of goodness, and we're the sinful people, and that the gates of heaven were closed to us until Jesus came and he died for our sins. He kind of bought our redemption so that we could have the possibility of going to heaven. So fall into sinfulness, redemption by Jesus into the capacity, into the potential of being able to go to heaven. So that particular story, as the way that it's played out over centuries, in my mind, has been a big part of the problem. And Matthew Fox talks about this a lot. And if you believe that this is what's here on earth is fallen, is not sacred and holy, and what's sacred and holy is heaven and God who lives in heaven, then most of your spirituality is going to be oriented toward how to get to heaven. That was certainly most of the Catholicism that I was raised with, and many Christians throughout the world have had that particular focus. That being here on earth, the goal is to get to heaven. And so we don't think about the natural world and our being here as a place to create beauty and pleasure and celebration of life and the fullness of life, and all of that richness is very secondary, if at all, talked about to getting to heaven. And in fact, things like pleasure were very suspicious and sometimes outright criticized or derided as spiritually dangerous. You know, it was a practice, maybe still is for some Catholics today, but certainly when I was a kid, you know, when you go to confession, one of the things one of the ways to ask yourself to try to figure out what sins you might have committed is, did I take pleasure in something? So pleasure was so skeptical. And so with this emphasis on our sinfulness, our fallen nature, God being external, and that's in heaven and God is somewhere else, really kind of sucks the life out of us to be able to create happiness, loving relationships, inner peace, peaceful and just and sustainable human world here.